To start to understand how to fix the mess I mentioned in the last video, I want to take you very quickly through how the industry got here. I might do a director's cut if this takes off, but to keep this video short, I'm going to skim over the 1950s, 60s and 70s and start at the early 80s, when computers got smaller, faster and cheaper, spearheaded by the BBC Micro and ZX Spectrum. Around this time, games tended to be made in a few months, often as a hobby, by a single programmer who mastered every aspect of the machine they were working on. And once finished, the games were distributed on tapes, and the creator moved on to their next idea. Towards the end of the 80s, the seminal Amiga 500 came out. Teams had started to grow, and publishers had arrived on the scene. The design was still owned by the programmers, as they tightly coded games to push the limits of the hardware, but everyone involved was highly technical, because they had to be. Groundbreaking games opened up new genres and gained cult status, but again, the teams were quite small. Most games still took just a few months to make, were now distributed on floppy disk, and rarely received updates. Through the 1990s, production values increased, team sizes grew again, and the hardware really began to take off. Successful teams stuck together, as everyone knew each other's strengths and weaknesses. A single person leaving such a team was massive, and could derail a project. The 2000s came, and it now became common to offer 1 or 2 patches post-release, and sometimes paid DLC packs to try and extend the lifespan of a game over its initial release window. Programmers now wrote for abstraction layers rather than directly to the hardware. Designers now tended to own the vision, and the skill sets across a team became more specialised. The bigger games now had teams of 50 to 100 people, and development times stretched from about a year to 2 or more. A shift occurred around this time, as team members were sometimes moved to where there was a need for more resource, rather than what they actually specialised in. This is a key point, because everybody working in the industry has a role that they absolutely love doing, and is the reason that they're making games in the first place. But if you don't feel in control of your destiny, and keep getting put on tasks that you don't enjoy, then your passion fades, and you look for work elsewhere. This situation became more acute as the popularity of games exploded in the 2010s. Some team sizes swelled to over 250 people, and development times hit 3 or 4 years, but we barely updated our leadership styles and structures, which, honestly, aren't really robust enough to cope. Games are now distributed digitally. You'll have a day one patch, and players expect bug fixes and new content for at least a year, or indefinitely if you're making a live service game. So we don't tend to get that "yet it's finished" buzz that we used to, because there's no gold master anymore. There's little reason for a big portion of the team to stick around, so people move jobs far more often. On top of that, because of the complexities involved, it's now impossible and impractical for a single person on a team to know every aspect of the hardware or engines that we develop for. But we still try to create games in the same way that we always have, and it's more evident than ever that we need to change. And I promise I will get to the first steps on how to do that in the next video.